What's up, everybody? So I just got my 1981 C10 back from the paint shop and it's looking pretty good, but I'm in the final stages of this restoration. So what I got going on right now is the last of my interior projects. So I bought a bunch of parts to finish that. Had my bench seat reupholstered. But the first step was laying down sound deadener. So this is Kilmat. It's an 80 mil. There's a cheaper 50 mil, but it's obviously thinner. But I went ahead and spent a few more dollars, and I bought a box of 36 square feet and 18 square feet. And this definitely had enough to lay down the deadener all the way from the back of the cab through the floor and then up behind the dash and the firewall. So I went all the way up as far as I can go, and I also laid down a couple sheets into the door, so I would definitely recommend doing that. Should help with the heat and the sound, obviously. But a few things I just wanted to point out in case you're wanting to do this is start in the middle and then work your way out. So you can see the dividing line right there. As you work your way out, don't try to force the sheets over like a tall contour. So like right here, for instance, that was my first attempt, and then I realized that I had to start cutting out shapes just to get around those high areas and those extreme bends. So definitely want to do that. As far as where to place your bolts, lay down the mat over where you have the hole, and without peeling off the back, find the hole with your finger, just push down, and then use an X-Acto knife to make a little cross hatch, pull it back up, make a quick little circle and pull it out. And same thing for when you're making shapes or just cutting out pieces. Leave the back of the sound deadener on, so that way you don't make a mess with the glue, because it's rubber with an adhesive. So if you take that back paper off, you're gonna start creating a mess. Sticks to your scissors or your razor blades or whatever. The other thing that I found was helpful, and I only did this at the end because I had 4 extra sheets left, was in order to make this one solid piece, I just literally peeled off, or I used one of the paperbacks of the sound deadener, and then just made a template and then cut it out from there. So that was pretty helpful, but I wouldn't recommend doing that until you know you have excess material. So but that's pretty much it. So the next thing I'm going to do is lay down carpet, and I'll give you some pointers when I figure out any kind of findings from that. And then I'm going to be putting on brushed aluminum foot pedals and chrome sill plates. I'm also going to be hooking up my amp and speaker wire, and that should be pretty much it, besides putting on the door panels and the door carpet. So stay tuned if you want to see how it looks, or want to learn some tips that I may have and found out along the way. Alright, thanks. Alright, so I'm getting ready to lay down the carpet, and before I did that, I figured I would show you some of the work before I covered it all up. And so what I did was prep the amp and speaker wire to go underneath the carpet, and I chose this groove on each side of the transmission hump. So we have the battery cable on the left and the remote RCA cables and speaker wire on the right. And the reason why I did that is because they're supposed to keep the power wire from the battery separate from the remote cable. And I guess since it's thick enough, because it's 4 gauge OFC copper, it's pretty thick, so all the other cables pretty much equal that same thickness. But so I separated them to go on each side of the transmission hump. I put electrical tape around, every few inches or so, just to kind of get it all held together nice and neat. And then I taped it down with a strip of electrical tape. And in case I didn't mention it before, the Kilmat sound deadener is this part number. So that's the 18 square foot box. The 36 square foot was, I don't know, something around like $50 or so. But the other thing I wanted to show you was the brushed aluminum foot pedals that I'm going to install. So that's these, and on the back side they have drilled in holes for screws. So I took off the OEM foot pedals, and then I had to drill holes. So the way I did that to make an even match was I would took cardboard, I found the holes, took the cardboard, put it in there, transferred it to the foot pedals, mark it with the marker, and drill some holes. So figured I would show you that too before I covered it up. And yeah, stay tuned. I got the carpet out in the sun, so it's been out there for about 30 minutes. Helps to soften it up is what I read. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay that down, poke holes for my bench seat and seat belts, as well as my amp grounding bolt. So stay tuned, it's about to be done. Alright, just wanted to show you what the carpet looks like. I haven't installed it all the way yet, but so there is a gap, and if you don't have sill plates, you're pretty much screwed. But I have chrome sill plates that I ordered. The other thing, it's pre-molded, which is really nice. And the bolt holes actually have markers. So you can see this one, which is, it's molded to this contour right here. And then the next bolt, and the next one, and all the rest. So they actually line up exactly, so you don't have to really stress too much. Just cut out a little hole where that bolt goes and install it. So just wanted to show you that. Alright, so here's a quick progress check. I got the carpet installed, all the bolts are in, all the back bolts went exactly as the molded cutouts were, so you can definitely trust those. However, the front bench seat bolt is a little bit off, so I would definitely feel before you cut. And then same thing with the dimmer switch, if you have one. I just felt and then cut a hole out for it. But the speaker and amp wires and cables, all I did was make a slit right next to the seat belt bolt and pull that through. There's a little cavity space, so there's nothing really binding that up. And then the same thing for the amp battery cable and the amp grounding cable. So all I have left to do now is install the door panels, the chrome door sills, and the brushed aluminum foot pedals, as well as install the amp and subs and 6x9s. So then we'll be ready to roll. Oh, and last but not least, the new bench. So I'm excited because I haven't seen it without the plastic off inside this truck yet. Plus with the all black and white interior, it's gonna look sick. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, so here's a progress check. I finished installing the amp and speaker wiring kit, and I connected it to a 500 watt JL audio amp, 2 10-inch kicker comp subs, and 2 kicker 6x9s, and just a pretty straightforward Alpine deck. But I used a kicker wiring kit, and that's this one right here. I definitely recommend paying a little extra money and get a quality amp wiring kit, because this is a true 4 gauge 99.9% OFC copper, so it's definitely worth a little extra money. But the other thing, if you're gonna run 2 subs to an amp, I would definitely check your manual to see what kind of ohms you're running. But for this one, I ran a parallel circuit, so it's a positive and negative from the amp to one sub, and then run the positive and negative from that sub to the other sub. So all I did was hide the wire from this speaker to the other speaker. But it also comes with like a 100 amp fuse, so you definitely want to make sure you connect everything right so you don't run the risk of a fire. And we'll go ahead and check this out and see how it sounds. That's what's up. Alright, next step, I'm going to install the bench seat, door panels, door seal, and foot pedals. And then it'll be done, finally. Alright, so now we're looking at a complete restoration on a 1981 Chevy C10. We got fresh GM code 12 paint. That's the original white paint. We have a 5.6 Beltec drop kit with street performance shocks, 20-inch US mag wheels. We got a brand new reupholstered bench seat from a local upholstery shop. We got some chrome door seals from LMC, with black carpet from LMC, sound deadener I got from Amazon, and it goes all the way up across the floor and behind the dash, as well as all the way up the inside of the door. I used approximately 50 square feet of 80 mil Kilmat sound deadener, and I got that from Amazon. We got brushed aluminum foot pedals, so that kind of tied it in nice. Reinstalled the C10 guide. What's up, C10 guide? We got the nice kicker comp sound system and an original 1981 remanufactured Grille. So, about to go take it for a test drive. I'll let you know how I feel about the sound deadener. See if that stops any of the droning, because I have headers with Flowmaster exhaust that dump straight to the ground. So it gets pretty loud. And then stay tuned. Alright, so here's a follow-up. The sound deadener definitely works. It used to drone really bad in here with my Flowmaster exhaust and the turn down pipes, but now it's nice and clean. I'm sure it's keeping a lot of the heat down too. So a little bit of a tire burn. But got the new foot pedals. Clean interior. Windows down and it's still quiet. Sounds really good. And then with the sound system, it's nice and clean. The bass seems to hold itself in. I'll show you that.
So won't you get your blast on? And if you miss me with your 13 shots, nigga, your ass gone.
Shout out to CJ's crew. Still jamming that shit since '94.
Shots, nigga, your ass gone. Cause I'm gonna hit you on my first shot. And then I ain't gonna stop. And motherfuckers call a team. Then I'll be coming 7,000 like my subs.
So I appreciate you watching the video. Hope you learned something. Hope you want to try installing the same parts that I did. You know, I never really expected to get so many followers or likes from all these videos. They were just mostly to try and kind of pay it forward. If I couldn't find something that helped showed me how to tear something apart or install something, or you know, like a good product review, that's pretty much why I've been making these videos. So I definitely appreciate, you know, getting followers and whatever, but it's nice to know that my videos are helping out